You know, some people age like a fine wine, and some people age like a can of special brew left on a hot windowsill. Whichever one you are, get ready to talk about those pesky little emotions of yours, because it's time for another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings. Please welcome your host, Sam Lake. It was me the whole time. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of I've Had a Rosé, Let's Talk About Feelings, the show where me and a wonderful guest have a drink of their choice, and oh boy is it a drink of their choice today, and we talk about something that they are passionate about. And joining me on the sofa today is Finlay Christie.
Yay!
So happy to be here.
So happy that I was announced.
You were announced.
Yeah.
You were announced. That was your name.
Yeah, and that you didn't call me Finn Taylor.
I didn't call you Fintech. I would like it to be on record. I can tell the difference between the two of you.
Oh, I can't most of the time. So that's
Really?
Yeah. I appreciate that. It's a slight, he's slightly, he's like the politically slightly further right version of me. He's me if I was born outside of London.
Okay.
And I don't know why I'm slagging Finn Taylor straight away.
Yeah. No, fine. We'll make him an enemy of the pod. That's fine.
He like when I was first making TikToks, I was talking to him in a green room and being like, I was like, oh, I've been making TikToks over lockdown. He was like, I hate TikTok.
Oh, lockdown TikTok.
I hate it so much. And I was like, oh, you should get into it. I really love it. And he was like, well, I wrote 2 books in lockdown, and that's what you could have been doing. And now he's huge on TikTok.
This actually sounds very much like an actual feud.
No. It's just funny looking back. Cause
Why didn't you just write a fucking book?
I can't read.
Well, I think you took your advice and really got something from it.
Yeah, I taught him everything he knows.
Yeah. Maybe not everything.
No.
Maybe don't claim all of it.
I claim all of it.
Okay.
I
Fair
claim
enough.
all of it, yeah.
You're up here in Edinburgh?
Yeah, I am. I'm up here for doing some for this podcast.
Just for this podcast. People do come just for this.
No,
and we
yeah,
go, that sounds like an interesting life choice you've made.
Yeah.
You're up here for gigs.
For doing some shows.
Doing some shows.
Yeah.
Enjoying your time here?
Loving it. The flat and the podcast studio and the gig are all basically the same building.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
all basically on the same street.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely.
Which I feel like a proper, I feel like such a comedian. Leave it like walking downstairs. I feel like a Vegas comedian walking downstairs and I'm in the venue.
Like you're like a resident comedian.
Yeah.
Like you've just popped downstairs to do your show at Caesars.
Yeah.
And then you go back upstairs, enjoy your salmon pizza.
Yeah, but I've heard in Vegas there's some places where you can get a lift from your room to
right down
backstage.
to the stage. Yeah.
Would that be your thing or?
I have a thing about, those, the lifts that open right up into the flat, into the apartment. I don't like those because I always think, what if somebody got on that lift and then accidentally it opened into your flat? I know there's probably a key card and stuff, but what if it like mucks up?
If you were like in Vegas, just getting on the sniff, getting absolutely off your
Just getting on the sniff. I love getting on the sniff.
And then you'd be terrified. Is the door going to open? Is there going to be someone there looking for the spa?
Imagine if you just caught Celine Dion on the sniff.
Yeah.
No wonder she can't sing right now. Oh, bless her. Yeah. No, I think a small bit of separation. If the buildings are near each other, great.
Yeah.
If they're actually physically connected, I'd find that a bit odd.
I love it.
Do you ever make the mistake of like if you're doing a gig out of town and you accidentally mention to an audience member what hotel you're staying at? Like you might just casually say like, oh, I'm just in a travel lodge. And then you realize, oh, there's only one travel lodge in this city.
Yeah.
They could follow me if they wanted to.
I don't really travel lodges. I'm not concerned that I'm going to smash the gig so hard
that they'll come back to the travel lodge.
Or they'll be banging on the door of my travel lodge.
Maybe in
I'm
an
not
ibis.
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
He used to have to worry about that stuff. Do you have people like follow you back to the travel lodge?
It's just like
the Great Yarmouth Travel Lodge.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes after a gig, me and some of the other acts will be like, oh, should we go get a drink at this place around the corner? And then they'll go like, maybe don't say that in front of the audience in case they want to join us. Not to say that all of the audience are freaks, but you never know.
You are.
Okay.
You are. Don't ever talk to me or say that you like my stuff.
All right.
Or just all of them can fuck off, can't they?
All right. Are you on tour right now?
Yeah, come see my special recording, June 15th, Top Secret Comedy Club. £8 tickets. It's very reasonable, the price.
Yeah, that's the sell.
Yeah.
That's the sell. Lovely.
It's on Father's Day.
Oh, that's nice.
Bring your daddies and your
Get
zaddies.
your dads out. Yeah. But in Edinburgh, you've done the Fringe. You've done the Fringe a few times.
Done it a couple of times.
Do you enjoy the vibe of Edinburgh outside of the Fringe?
Love it.
Yeah.
So much better, isn't it? It's like, because it's like being inside social media, being at Edinburgh during the Fringe.
It's quite difficult to walk around a city where all of your friends and colleagues' faces are plastered around every possible wall.
Yeah.
It's unsettling.
And not just for, also people you despise.
Enemies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it's so much, it feels like, it just feels like, I don't know.
You just feels like it's lower pressure. You can pop into a fudge shop. You can get yourself a Princess Diana commemorative cashmere. You can do all of the stuff that you don't have time to do during the Fringe.
Yeah, you can do a Harry Potter tour.
You really could.
Yeah,
you really could.
What other Scottish? They eat some tablet.
Yeah, I don't mind tablet. But no one's ever successfully described to me the difference between tablet and like
sugar.
Rock hard heroin.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's like it feels a lot like just sort of like harder fudge.
Yeah,
it's a hard fudge.
It's not great, is it? Tablet. I mean,
depends where it's made. Depends where it's made.
Yeah.
It's like Brussels sprouts. Everyone hates Brussels sprouts until they've had Brussels sprouts made really nicely.
Really?
Yeah.
How do you make Brussels sprouts nicely?
With lots of butter and bacon. And like other stuff.
I don't think it's the Brussels sprouts there that are doing the heavy lifting.
It's one stick of butter per sprout, and you sort of bury the sprout in the butter, and then wrap it in bacon and bake it.
Just deep fry some pig's hearts and just eat that.
No, I'm too squeamish.
Yeah.
No, I couldn't do that.
Wrap your vegetables in bacon and lard.
We used to wrap vegetables in cheese. Hide the vegetables in cheese.
That's cheese versus a stick of butter.
Okay, hide your tablet in some cheese.
Yeah, deep fry the tablet.
No pudding until you've eaten your tablet.
Wrap it in cheese and then more sugar on top.
I've just realized some people not familiar with Scotland will be very confused because they might think we're suggesting that they eat an iPad.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not a touch screen.
No,
it's although you can probably get deep fried iPad in Edinburgh somewhere.
Be quite expensive.
Yeah, but it'd be about as expensive as a deep fried Mars bar, to be honest.
Have you ever had a deep fried Mars bar?
Of course.
Yeah. What did you think?
They're fucking amazing.
They are really good. Pizza Crunch?
I've not had a Pizza Crunch.
I actually quite like a Pizza Crunch.
I do need to have that at some point.
Have a Pizza Crunch. Yeah. It's good. It's good. We eat well up here.
Yeah.
We don't live long, but we eat well. Should we talk about your drink?
Yeah.
Because I'm terrified.
I can't wait.
Remind me of how it's pronounced.
Michelada.
A Michelada. Okay. And the contents of this is a tequila-infused beer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, Worcestershire sauce.
Hot sauce.
Tabasco in this case.
Tabasco.
Lime juice.
Yeah. And
that's it.
We did get chili flakes, but are the chili flakes just for like a little rim?
That was a garnish, yeah. I think.
A garnish. Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Well,
why?
Well, I didn't know what this was, and then I had it in Houston recently, and I loved it.
Okay.
It's like a Bloody Mary, but without the. You never want a Bloody Mary because you think, oh, but that'll fill me up. It's quite heavy, all the tomato juice. So it's just like a Bloody Mary, but without the kind of heaviness.
Okay, it's a lighter Mary.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's a strong taste. It's gonna put the wind up you.
Hey, if the wind just stays up me, that will be a good day.
Yeah.
I saw how, because you kindly made these for us.
Yes.
Given how in the past we've made certain cocktails for people and it's not gone well. Apologies, Sakisa, if you're listening. I saw how much Tabasco you put in it.
Yeah.
And I went, oh no.
Yeah, well, Sakisa is Caribbean, so I can imagine, you making it for her and her being very offended on a cultural level, whereas I'm not Mexican.
Yeah, I think we hurt international relations with that rum punch. But I mean, you know what? We tried. We tried.
Yeah. Let's just do it.
I think we should.
Cheers.
It's such an odd colour. Cheers. Okay.
How's that? How is that?
Oh no.
You don't like it?
It's warming.
Yeah.
I could imagine drinking.
It is, isn't it?
I can imagine drinking it, thinking that it's like good for. If I had like a sore voice, I could imagine tricking myself into thinking that
okay?
this is it stays with you, doesn't it? It's still there. Yeah. I don't hate the taste.
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of Worcestershire sauce, which I like.
Your one, there's a lot more Worcestershire sauce in.
Oh, okay.
Mine, I put a bit less Worcestershire and a bit more Tabasco. Can you feel it in your ears?
Yes.
I can feel it in my ears.
I can feel it in my ears.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like it was poured directly into my ears.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I feel clear. Sorry, Claire's laughing because I'm not responding well. She said, I'll have another sip.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll finish it by the end of the episode. I'll be fine.
I can feel myself getting pink and I can see you getting slightly pinker.
Yeah.
How do they do it on hot ones?
I think... Did it just hit you all of a sudden?
Let me just have another sip. I might fix it. This is so good. The thing is, the thing, it's like the beer is supposed to cool you down, but it's kind of warmed up a bit. The beer.
I completely forgot there was even beer in this.
It doesn't taste like there's any beer in it.
It tastes like I'm... Have you ever had Bovril?
Is it Ovaltine, Bovril?
No, Bovril is more like... It's kind of like hot, drinkable Marmite kind of. It's sort of like a yeasty brew.
Yeasty brew.
A yeasty brew, Bovril.
Yeah.
And it kind of tastes like that, but somebody's put a lot of warmth into it.
I will try a Bovril.
Yeah. We don't have it here.
No. But I think maybe a Bovril, maybe add a bit of hot sauce in there, spice up a bit of Tabasco.
So the Tabasco, right?
Some petrol, light on fire.
Just put some meth. Is that spicy? I wouldn't know. But the only time I've ever put Tabasco on stuff was when I had COVID and I lost my sense of taste for about 2 or 3 weeks. So everything was just mush. But if I put Tabasco on it, I at least got a sensation of something because those taste receptors still worked.
Yeah.
So all I had was Frosties and then Tabasco on like toast.
I have Tabasco on toast every morning.
Really?
Yeah. And not enough people know about this because when I tell people, they laugh. And I'm so happy that you do it as well.
What, people haven't heard of toast?
People think that, toast is a condiment-free zone.
Who the fuck's having dry toast? Sorry.
No.
That shocked me so much. I simply need something to just really wake me up.
Me as well. I'm talking nonsense. I think I need to have some more to fix my brain. No, toast is not a condiment.
But toast is a vehicle for... Oh,
sauce.
No. Hang on.
Sauce.
I just rubbed my eye
spread.
and I don't think I should have.
Oh, did you put your finger in it?
I think I'm okay, but please can someone remind me not to do that again in case I put my finger in it by mistake and then just rub it all in my eye.
They didn't do this shit on hot ones. And they should have done.
No, Sean Evans always says, don't touch your eye, don't touch your eye as they're about to touch your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. You were saying something about toast.
So people think once you put the spread on it, then it's done. But it's not. But you can put, Tabasco, sprig of parsley.
Oh, I see. Well, okay. See, a parsley I just wouldn't bother with.
No.
Off to the side.
Because you never make toasts for your guests.
No. I put that to the side because I don't see the point of it.
Yeah.
a Tabasco or like a sweet chili drizzle or like a balsam, like something drizzled on top. Fine, lovely. I'll put that on because I can see how that enhances the flavour.
Yeah.
My lips are burning.
Are you doing that?
What are you coming on to me?
I think that's your fault. My lips are fine.
Are they? Okay. All right.
I think you're putting your lips inside your mouth, or you're like licking your lips.
Oh, maybe I am licking my lips. I am a bit of a licker. I've liquor. I have discovered that sort of my go-to thing when I'm. Do you have a face that you make when you're focusing on something? Because I tend to stick my tongue out. If I'm trying to say, like, I'm trying to thread a needle. Weird example, but like something you have to like really focus on.
Yeah.
I tend to go like. I have to stick a tongue out to focus.
I think I look very angry when I'm focusing. I think I furrow my brow, but I might do a tongue inside a cheek.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a video of me, you know, if you go to an arcade, you get those games where you have to chuck a ball and like knock the thing down on the shelf.
Yeah.
I was playing that and someone was filming me. I stick my tongue out at every throw, pick up a ball, throw,
Yeah.
throw, over and over again to the point where my friends thought I might be having a seizure.
This is not good for, like, you know, queer stereotypes. If you can't, if you making a face, sticking your tongue out whilst doing.
I threw the ball perfectly fine.
You were slam dunking as well.
I was knocking over those clowns.
You were LeBroning it.
Who's that? No, I know who LeBron James is. I know
Famous
who that
basketball
is.
player sticks his tongue out with every
I
shot.
think you'll find it's cricket. No, I know who LeBron James is. Although I can't say it's from the sport. I think it's from like old
Memes.
vines and TikToks of people going LeBron.
Yeah, I don't really know who he is either.
Yeah.
But he's big in memes at the moment.
Big in memes.
That's why I know where he's from.
Yeah. Yeah.
God, I wouldn't even let someone film me doing sports, really.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No.
I used to
that's
play
a big no.
American football at uni.
Did you?
Yeah. And that was because I told myself I was like, I need to get into a sport.
Yeah.
Did it for a whole year. I got about 30 seconds of actual game time. They brought me on. Every single other player in my position had been injured.
What was your position on the
Middle
team?
linebacker,
Sure.
which is like
They're like in the middle, sort of back of the line.
I don't know. You're an expert.
Yeah, and they got to get the ball. They got to help score a touchdown. Get it to the.
They don't actually help score touchdowns.
Well, not directly, but you know,
In the long
it's a
run.
team effort.
Yeah.
I did ballroom dance at uni.
Ballroom dancing.
Yeah.
How do you score a touchdown in that?
You just fall over. It was like me and like 100 other people, and like I only did like the beginner levels. I really enjoyed it, but yeah, you swap a partner every time you do a dance, and it's literally just like side close side, side close side. It's very simple to begin with.
Do you wear like a big ruff and like, you know, coattails and?
No. I did one ballroom competition. Did make it to the semi-finals of the cha-cha-cha. I will just say that. But you just wear like a shirt.
World Championships.
Yeah, of the World Championships.
Cha-cha-cha.
Yeah, weirdly, the World Championships were exclusively held in Somerset,
Of course.
and only people from Somerset competed.
And cha-cha-cha, the home of cha-cha-cha.
The home of cha-cha-cha.
Taunton.
Yes. Yeah. It's.
Micheladas on tap.
I mean, that would have really fucked me up if I wouldn't have made the quarters.
What does ballroom dancing look like? I'm trying to picture it.
Have you never seen ballroom dancing?
I probably have.
Like, when you think of ballroom, do you think of like big ball gowns and like coat and tail? Yeah. So that's the ballroom dances, and then there's the Latin dances.
Okay.
So the ballroom dances are like waltzes, foxtrots, quick steps, tangos, and then Latin's cha-cha, jive, rumba, samba, paso.
Oh, samba's cool. Can you do all that?
I did a couple steps of it. It's really hard because the rhythm changes with every movement. So you follow a different timing. So that's quite difficult. And it's the only dance that's supposed to really travel around the room. The other ones you can sort of get away with staying in a similar part of the floor and not really having to go anywhere.
One of my big regrets in life is never learning how to do any kind of dance. I feel like it's such a skill.
But then see, if you end up on Strictly Come Dancing, you don't want to have any dance experience because the old Daily Mail, they'll print loads of stories about how you've got a secret ballroom past.
You've really thought about this long term.
I really, really have. Yeah.
You're worried about the papers leaking your ballroom dancing past.
There are photos that might leak.
Yeah, for the Taunton World Championships.
With the number pinned to my back and everything. Yeah. It's a very toxic world as well.
It is. People these days, they've got no fucking...
People these days. What's wrong with them?
Everyone's got a past.
Everyone does have a past, but they also have a present and a future.
Exactly.
And let's not forget that. And you know what I say?
Yeah.
I say let's drink to that.
Cheers to that.
I've drank more of this than I think I was supposed to.
I'm having a second win with it. That one was good, that sip.
Do you get, with spicy stuff, do you not find that once you've had enough of it, then like if you have more of it, it's kind of like settled? Because I'm not having that right now. It's getting worse.
No. I find it really whets my appetite. So something's got spice on it, I can eat way more of it than normal.
It is rare I will drink something savoury, so I think I'm having the same thing. My mouth is watering. A lot of parts of me are watering.
Yeah.
I'm just in general a bit wet.
I can see you're dripping. There's stalactites on your nose.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
It's. I mean, I'm genuinely really enjoying it. There's a few side effects. There's a yeah. I mean, there's a you know I can really, the ears are like lighting up every time. If you looked at me through like night vision goggles, I'd be all lit up.
Could you imagine? Yeah, like a Tom Clancy Rainbow Six kind of thing.
Yeah.
That was an odd reference for me. Sorry, everyone.
But right on the money, pitching it to
I know.
me. I mean,
I just forgot.
That made me happy, that reference.
Yeah. LeBron. Lovely. Right. We're very much warmed up.
Yeah.
Let's move on to your chosen topic.
Yeah.
And we were at the gig last night. I asked you what the topic was. You've kept it broad. We're talking about art.
Talking about art.
Just all of art.
Well, I was thinking specifically, you know, I love going to galleries, the kind of art that you would find in a gallery.
So I was going to say, my first question would be like, what is art to you?
Yeah.
So are we specifically talking about like painting, sculptures,
in this
that kind
case,
of thing?
yeah.
Right.
I tried to film a sketch the other day at the National in London, and we completely messed it up. We were supposed to be doing some dumb sketch where we basically were screaming in a gallery. And then we walked into the National and we were like, this is a place of reverence and peace. And we just ended up looking at the paintings. We didn't end up filming the sketch, and I had the best day. Oh,
well, lovely.
It was like the first proper day of spring, and it was all...
Yeah.
And it was just... I just had the best time. And I just love... You know, when you go into a gallery and it's kind of starts off with kind of Renaissance stuff, and there's lots of pictures of Jesus, and you're like, yeah, we get it. He died for our sins, whatever. He's on the crawl. He's in pain.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus died. Oh, Mary died. Oh, it's all very bleak.
Right.
And then you get into the bit with the Impressionism and all the French, these beautiful paintings of gardens, and it's all light strokes and the colours complement each other. And it's so soothing. And you've been through all the bleak Renaissance, you know, all that terrifying stuff. And then suddenly you're just hit with, you know, the lights and colours of modernism.
It's very cinematic what you're describing, sort of going to a museum and like there's sort of like very inspirational music playing in the background as you're looking at a painting that really moves you.
Impressionist music, some Debussy, some Ravel.
What'd you say?
Some well, it's spelled Debussy. Debussy.
Yeah.
But which, you know, at the time, I think that was kind of lost on.
They didn't have the language back then.
But yeah. But now he would have got bullied a lot.
Yeah, probably.
For being called Debussy.
I wonder if that's still a name these days.
I think probably French people, they've all got quite, you know, gay names, don't they? You know, I can't think of anybody. Quentin. They're all called like Quentin.
Do you think Quentin's a gay name?
One of my closest friends when I lived in France was a very camp dance champion called Quentin.
Quentin.
Quentin, as they say it in France.
See, when you say it in French, I feel like that takes some of the campness away.
It does a little bit.
I feel like French campness is probably a lot judgier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If you ask me what a gay name for a boy would be, I'm thinking a Blair. I'm thinking a Blaine. I'm thinking a Kyle.
Kyle.
A lot of gay Kyles. I did think Matthew was quite a gay name, but I think that's just because it's a more common name. So statistically, you're likely to meet a lot of gay men who are called Matthew. Matt.
Yeah, maybe Matt. I'm trying to think.
Why is that funny?
You're thinking of someone specific.
One of my favourite gay friends is called Matt.
Oh, well, there you go.
No, some cats, some more feminine Matts. I'm trying to think. Gay names.
We can... Do you know what? Write in. Leave a comment under this episode. What do you think's a gay name?
Do you have a gay name?
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you.
We'd love to hear from you. Share your stories with us. Text in.
So, sorry, we were talking about the great works of Debussy.
Yes.
And the cinematism, the impressionism of it all. How long have you been... You sound like you know a lot about art. Is it a thing you've been passionate about for a while?
My best friend when I was a kid was he was an amazing artist.
I thought you were about to say an easel.
He was he was a paintbrush, and it was an imaginary friend. I had no friends as a kid. He was absolutely obsessed with art, and I remember being like 13 and going with him. I can't remember. I think it was I can't remember which. It might have been the Tate Modern or something. And him just walking through the art gallery, this indignant, posh 13-year-old, just furious. And he went through it so quickly. And then he was sat at the other end of it and just with his head in his hands. And I was like, what's wrong? And he was like, that was shit. I hated it. And I thought it was the coolest. I thought he was the coolest, most discerning 13-year-old in the world.
Did he think it was shit because he expected it to be good? Or he just thought, right, okay.
He was disappointed by it on a critical level.
He already had like a high level of intelligence with regard to arts and it had not been met.
He was precocious, yeah. And both his parents were very into art and...
I've got to be honest, I don't know if art's ever something that I've truly appreciated.
Really?
Do you know what? The last time I was in a museum, I was in Norway. I was in Norway for a few gigs, and I went to the Munch Museum to see the screen painting. And I didn't know there's three why are you there I know why, and I'm not saying it. It will have to be after the show. Claire killed a man in Norway.
Oh, really? Okay.
I found quite interesting because I was there with my friend who is Norwegian and they were sort of like guiding me through the museum. And maybe it's because like it's a source of like Norwegian pride or something, but she knew a lot about him and like how his work changed over the eras, and like each floor represents a different like period of his work. I also didn't know there are 3 different versions of that famous painting, and they like rotate, so you can never see all 3 of them at the same time. You got to come back and wait until they've swapped it out. So that I found quite interesting because that told the story of a person.
Yeah.
So I feel like a story is fun if you use a gallery or a museum to do that. Sometimes when you go I went into the Tate Modern once, and I was like, there's so much art, you sort of don't know where to begin and where you're going. So then that sort of prevents you from accessing it.
Absolutely, I completely agree.
Yeah. They did have like an exhibit that was about like, I think, art in terms of commercial use, which I found interesting. So like how it's used in adverts, like old posters for like Coca-Cola and...
pop art.
Yeah, all of that stuff. That I found interesting. Yeah. Do you think there's like a form of art that anyone can get into, as in like there's like a gateway form of art? If someone doesn't think they're into it, is there something you think you could probably show them?
Yeah, I would say Impressionism, or Van Gogh is always a fun.
And you probably learnt about him in school a little bit.
Yeah.
So you're not coming in with no knowledge whatsoever.
He's a nice, and in fact, the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam is another one where you go in, you learn the story, and you become really, because with Van Gogh, it's such an amazing tale of like, he's always the example people use for like someone unappreciated in their own time.
Right,
So
yeah.
thousands of, young tormented artists see him as their inspiration.
And they'll be like, all of my work will be really great once I'm dead.
Once I'm dead, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, he's an inspiration to thousands of annoying people. But he also was just like, his work vibrates. There's so much movement,
Does it?
I think, in Van Gogh.
Oh, not literally.
But that's the thing, because it's like, he's like post-impressionist, right? But like impressionism and post-impressionism, the idea is that it's capturing a fleeting moment. So it has so much more movement and light in it than, Renaissance painting, which is like very focused on the kind of, the execution rather than the emotion that it evokes. And I think there's so much more that feels so much more engaging.
Right.
It gets so much more out of me emotionally
Okay.
than a normal Renaissance painting. I think like obviously you Starry Night.
Yes.
That's a bit. It's just the way like it's you can see it more through Van Gogh's eyes.
Right.
You can
Yeah.
see more. It's a combination of the scene and him and his stamp on it.
So this is kind of what I was saying about all the Monk stuff. It's like you sort of need to know him a bit to appreciate where the art is coming from.
Yeah.
And then that makes you see it differently.
The intensity of it.
It was the only time at a museum where I actually like went up to some of the plaques and like read the full story behind the painting and was like, oh, right. Oh, okay. And then go to the next one. It sort of follows on from that one. It must be quite a cool job to have to put together like the order everything goes in and where in the museum it goes. You have to think about the journey somebody takes through a museum. I find all of that quite interesting because I think that can apply to more things than just art or paintings or whatever.
Definitely.
Do you think you've taken anything that you appreciate about art and put it into your stand-up?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. I mean,
It's completely separate.
well, I mean, I've never really thought about the two being linked at all. I kind of see stand up more as entertainment than art.
Interesting. Okay.
I think art is you're supposed to appreciate it. Whereas stand up, you're supposed to enjoy it.
Okay.
You
So are they mutually exclusive things? Can you not enjoy art but you can appreciate it?
I think there's a little bit of there's enjoyment in art and you can appreciate stand up, but I don't really want to go to like stand up and be like, come out of it and be like, that was really interesting.
Okay.
Or that was really moving. I want to think that was hilarious.
I do get that. Do you think, as I used to think that stand-up just had to be funny, and then I think the more that I did it, I was like, oh, okay, sort of funny is sort of like the entry requirement. But then if you can do something else as well as, like funny has to be the first thing.
Yeah.
But then if you can also add like another thing to it, like a feeling of something sentimental or something relatable, or like, someone leaving like your Fringe show going like, that was funny, and also I got this extra thing from it, so it feels like a bonus.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's my attitude to it. Maybe it's still developing. I don't know.
Yeah, well, mine probably changes week to week, but like my thing at the moment is, I think when I'm at the Fringe, I'm like, oh yeah, stand up has to be this artistic thing, but then the rest of the year, I'm like, I can watch someone just do 20 minutes of jokes and be like,
Lovely.
That to me has just as much value as a beautiful, well put together show that has these, moving aspects and elements.
Yeah.
And I think they should be judged on the same level, really. Mm-hmm. You ever see like the way critics review comedy films? They'll always kind of give it a shit rating because it's a bit silly.
Yes.
And you think, wow.
Well, that's the thing of like, if you watch the Oscars, all of the films are films that nobody's watched because they've not come out yet.
Yeah.
And then films that are comedies or horror films or action films, they tend to not get a look in because they're not seen as like contenders for the Oscars. And if a film's worthy of an Oscar, then that implies that like, oh, it's something special. But it's always like, oh, here's a film about something really harrowing and difficult and sad, and so we're rewarding that rather than like if it was an enjoyable film necessarily.
It's a film that you like it more once someone's explained it to you afterwards.
I don't want a film explained to me.
No,
I want to understand it when I watch it.
I tried to. I was watching a film on the train up here. It was like a Palme d'Or when the Cannes festival.
Yeah.
One of those Palme d'Or winners, and I was like, you know, they are, you know, the Cannes films. They are very beautiful and they convey so much emotion, but they're long and boring.
And also, I feel like with the Cannes Film Festival, don't you always see stories about like, oh, this film got like a 7-minute standing ovation?
Oh my God.
But then there'll be another film the next year, it'll be like, it got an 11-minute standing ovation. And it's like, well, okay, a standing ovation used to mean, wow, this is exemplary. This is really, like, we do this so rarely. But now it happens for several films every year. And now the metric is how long did the standing ovation last for? So now it's lost all of its meaning.
These people have such long attention spans. 3-hour film and then 11-minute standing ovation.
Yeah. And also, having seen clips of it now, I don't believe Emilia Perez ever should have got a standing ovation.
What was that, Emilia Perez? What did she do?
Emilia Perez is it's a film, it didn't win Best Picture, but it won a few Oscars and everyone loved it. It was a story about, is it about a trans woman in the military?
All I know is that it is a musical.
It is a musical as well, but the vocals are not really given that much. And it's a weird film. The clip that's gone viral is a song about gender affirming surgeries. Yeah, it's Zoe Saldana walking into the room, and then they're singing about like vaginoplasty. It's a really odd. It's not good. But when nobody could watch that film and they heard about it at the festival, all they heard was like, it's been given that award. Yeah. All of the actors in it have been given these awards. Got a standing ovation. Everyone loved it. And then once it's got to the people, everyone is like, what? It's a bit like the Emperor's not wearing any clothes.
Exactly, yeah. Which, I mean, you can say that for a lot of art. What do you think about, like, you know, contemporary art that's like, you know, Yves Klein, who just does like a blue, it's just a blue canvas, or Kazimir Malevich, where it's just all black. And it's about it's about the concept rather than the execution.
Yeah, but I guess, like, then, like, what is the piece of art there? Because if the piece of art is just the canvas that's all one colour, then without any further context, I don't know what that is I don't know why that is. Yeah. So then, but if I'm given the context, then I guess I can make sense of it. But then is the context also a piece of the art as well? Yeah. I don't know if I have this idea that maybe a piece of art should communicate like its meaning to you by itself without necessarily any explanations. Obviously, some people who aren't as familiar with art, like me, might need like some guidance into finding the meaning. It's why, like, when I was at school, I never liked poetry, because we'd read the poem, I go, this is gibberish, and then the teacher would go, oh, this is actually like the author's way of communicating love to his ex-wife. And I'd be like, just say that then. Yeah, but then, you know, not all art is supposed to speak to you, but sometimes you'll come across something that just really, that you get it without it having to be explained. That is true. Not everything is for everyone. Yeah. And that's where you get, like, people getting up in arms because they think everything should be for them. My favourite bit of context making art, kind of more meaningful. Do you know about Caravaggio? I've heard the name. Caravaggio, like, was really, you know, an outrageous Renaissance artist. I guess Baroque, you might call him. But, like, he used to paint, whereas everyone else would paint, you know, saints and angels and
pictures of Jesus with like gold and halos and making them look all kind of making them look otherworldly. Caravaggio painted them with dirty feet and looking like peasants.
Yeah.
And he painted them in a way that was kind of more real. And the Catholic Church would commission. The Catholic Church commissioned this piece called "The Death of a Virgin," and it's the Virgin Mary, dying, and she's surrounded by people kind of mourning her.
Yeah.
But she's not. Caravaggio to draw the Virgin Mary, he found a dead prostitute in the River Tiber. Took it back to his studio and then used her as the model for the Virgin Mary. The Catholic Church were outraged. They couldn't believe it. They were like, this is blasphemy.
Yeah.
But she just looks normal. She's in like a normal dress. There's no halo. There's no gold. She's just a woman that's dead. And it looks...
And sorry, he just found a dead prostitute in the river. That's what's really caught me there. He found a dead prostitute in the river.
He found a dead prostitute.
He found a dead prostitute. Okay.
I'm assuming back in the day, dead prostitutes in the river, there's like eels in the Thames.
Yeah, sure.
So it's easier to find a dead prostitute in the river.
Do you have to get a special license to fish for dead prostitutes?
God, you're uncultured, aren't you? Of course you do.
Okay, sorry. I've not done it before.
Caravaggio had a dead prostitute fishing license.
Good. Well, okay, good. As long as it's all above board then.
Yeah.
If he's got a license, then I've got no problem with it. That's fine. But see, backstory like that is fascinating.
Yeah.
That is a very interesting story. And then I guess like if I saw that painting, I'd be like, it's also nice to just sort of like, if there's someone there who doesn't know that, then you get to be the one to go like, did you know there are dead prostitutes in the river?
Excuse me.
And if you just want to,
I don't speak English. It's a dead prostitute. It's the Virgin Mary.
Dead prostitute.
I am on holiday. It's a dead prostitute. He found it in the river. He killed a prostitute and then took it back to his studio. Yeah.
Where was that person from?
They were from Spain. It's someone I met in the National Gallery over the weekend.
Okay. La Galleria. Yes.
Took her back to my studio.
Is she still with us?
Anyway, I can feel myself going bright red now, and it's not from the drink anymore.
I'm red from the drink.
Yeah.
I'm just staying consistently warm.
Yeah.
I'm weirdly not hating it though.
Oh yeah, I could have another of those.
I think we have more than enough. Take some for the road.
I will do.
We're nearly at the end, but I do want to ask, like, is there a piece of art that's really sort of that sticks out in your head as like, if you could only look at one piece of art ever again, what would that piece of art be?
Yeah, it would be Bridge Over a Water Lily Pond, Monet.
Oh yeah,
I love Monet.
Yeah, is that your fave artist?
Probably. I think. I mean, I like all the Impressionists, but I think Monet. Yeah, he's probably my favourite.
Yeah, you've got a little twinkle in your eye talking about him.
Yeah, because it just reminds me of it's to me Monet is like, it's like Disney. I get the same kind of
right
feel good feeling from looking at those paintings than I get from just watching like a good Disney film. Or like Studio Ghibli, because a lot of it's like Japanese inspired.
I love Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
When I saw Spirited Away, I was obsessed.
Well, you probably love Impressionist painting because it's the same thing. It's like dappled light and colours and beautiful kind of a lot of the time Japanese inspired scene. Because the Bridge Over Water Lilies is like Monet had a Japanese garden that he just kept painting over and over and over until he went blind.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did he go blind because he kept painting so many times, or he was just...
He had cataracts.
Right, okay.
And he Georges Clemenceau, he went on to become the French Prime Minister. They were good friends. And after World War One, Clemenceau was like, we need a work of art or works of art.
Yes.
That, give the French people their hope back, because the First World War was so brutal. And Monet was like, no, I'm done painting. I hate it. I'm going blind. I'm done with it. I'm never painting again. And Clemenceau said, no, I'm not letting Monet be taken from the world too soon. And he pushed him to paint these huge. They're in the Orangerie in Paris. These huge canvases
Yeah.
of water lilies. It took him years, and he was only going to do 4, and then Clemenceau pushed him to do 8.
Right.
I think he was only going to do 4, 2 or 4, and I think we all need a Clemenceau in our lives,
Like a hype man.
someone that believes in you, and
Yeah.
someone that says, you know, you can do great things. And I hope that I'm like that with all of my friends that do comedy. I really want to push them because, you know, sometimes you need that. Sometimes you need someone else to, you know,
Yeah.
for the good of France. You
For the
need-
good of France.
You need
For
someone
the good
to
of the
push you.
Republic.
Yeah.
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 That's a lovely thing.
Yeah.
So when you look at a painting like that, is it mostly a feeling of like inspiration?
Absolutely,
Or-
yeah.
Yeah.
And also, you know, you can't hang a picture of dead Jesus in your front room, but I could have the water lilies in any room in my house and it would go. It would
Yes.
fit there.
Yeah. If you've seen
beautiful.
some episodes of Changing Rooms,
No.
I think Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen has put like crosses and Jesuses up on the walls
Ugh. I can't. Ugh.
for some couple in Great Yarmouth, and he's like, "I know you said that you love the color blue,
Yeah.
so I've turned your living room into a Turkish sex prison."
Jesus Christ.
Yep, he's there.
Oh,
Yep.
there we go.
Yeah, lovely, lovely.
Dios mio. Yeah, the most famous painting of all time is Da Vinci's. Does just a picture of Christ. It pisses me off that that's the most expensive. Did I say most famous? Most expensive.
Most expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, Salvator Mundi. It's just a boring picture of Jesus. 400 million sold for. Wow. Yeah.
Think of the Bitcoin you could get with that.
And think of, you know, the amount of drugs and
Think of the prostitutes you could fish out of the
prostitutes.
river.
Yeah, exactly.
Really big net.
I'd pay more for a dead prostitute in a river than I would for a picture of Jesus for my front room.
And that's the clip. That's the clip. This has been lovely.
Yeah, this has been nice.
We've got one last thing to do with you before the end of the episode, and it's called Quick Fire Feelings. So I just have a list of 5 random things, and I just want to know how they make you feel. Okay. And the first one is something that we ask everybody, doing a bit of a survey here. But how do you feel about dark chocolate?
Oh, gross.
Okay.
Gross and pretentious.
It is a bit pretentious, isn't it? I asked someone and they said when they eat it, they feel rich. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean,
Because sometimes expensive things are worse.
is it expensive as well? I've never bought it.
I think dark chocolate in general can be more expensive because it's like, there's like all of like, people talk about the percentage of it and like tasting and like you've got to look out for like you're tasting wine or something.
If you're having chocolate, have some nice chocolate.
Just have a fucking button.
Yeah.
Just have a bloody button. Okay. How do you feel about that that trolley that goes halfway through the wall at King's Cross and it's supposed to be the Harry Potter thing to platform 9 3/4?
Do you know, if it makes people happy, then keep it.
Very diplomatic.
But I'm not anti Harry Potter.
You're pro Voldemort?
I'm pro Voldemort.
Yeah, he's got some good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, listen to his podcast. How do you feel about bubble tea?
When I'm in China, I'll have it.
When you're in China?
Yeah.
Are you in China often?
Not anymore, but back in the day.
Back in the day.
My whole dream was to go live there. I wanted to be a
Really?
comedian in Chinese, yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. I
Oh,
love
well,
it.
that could be an episode. God. Is there much of a scene in China?
Oh, yeah. Big expat scene. But also the most
Right.
famous foreigner in China is a stand-up comedian who does it in Chinese. He's not even that good. They're just impressed he speaks Chinese. So that was my whole career plan.
Right.
Then COVID happened.
Do you speak Mandarin?
My Mandarin is pretty bad.
Oh, right.
I was practicing the other day with another comedian with do you know, Blank. I was practicing it with Blank. And, yeah, it's not great.
Okay. Well, you never know. That dream could still happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you feel about a nice jacket from Patagonia? Oh,
Everyone's got a... Get some... Why don't you dress like yourself? Stop trying to copy people.
yeah, dress like yourself.
Just dress... Who sees a Patagonian jacket and goes, yeah, that's me. That's what I want to put out to the world. That I'm, you know...
Ready for anything.
Yeah, some... Oh, it's outdoors wear, but I wear it when I'm coding at my shitty little startup that does canned wine. Honestly. What? It's like people who wear workwear to then go do graphic design all day. You're not in a French factory.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah, I hate it. Because
Do you mean like a jumpsuit or something? That's something that looks like a uniform.
Yeah, like those like the big blue like workwear jackets.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
I hate it.
Fair enough. Finally, how do you feel when you go to the supermarket and it's a nice older woman behind the counter and she calls you sweetheart? No matter what you've bought.
Is she fit?
Subjective. What does she need to look like to you?
Sweetheart, I prefer something a little bit more erotic. A babe, I quite like.
Oh, I see. Right. Okay.
Or a darling. Sweetheart feels patronising.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So you want a babe, you want a sugar
Darling.
tits.
Sugar tit, yeah.
Hey, you little piss twink.
Hey, fat, you
Yeah.
fat little pathetic worm. Humiliate me. I prefer that. I can take that more than a compliment, yeah.
Oh, okay. You just want it's just spit in my face.
Just spit in my mouth.
Spit in my mouth.
Yeah. Do you want a bag for that, you fuck, you little...
Not your
you little-
shopping, your fucking face, you ugly bitch.
Yeah.
Lovely. Well, there you go. We've made it.
Yeah.
We have made it. Have you enjoyed yourself?
I've had a great time, yeah.
Oh, good. We're very glad. Is there anything that you'd like to plug for our listeners?
Special recording in London, June 15th, Top Secret Comedy Club. Come on down.
Come on down.
Yeah.
I forgot it was spicy.
Yeah.
There we go. It just that one really got to the back of the throat, and I wasn't expecting it. Will you stick around for a little bonus episode?
Of course.
It's not as long as this one.
Of course, yeah.
Lovely. Right, well, we'll see you then for an episode of After Hours. If you want to know more about that, then there'll be a link somewhere in the description. You can also follow us on social media at I've Had a Rosé for all of the little clips that I know you love. And we'll see you again for an episode very soon. Goodbye, everyone.